I'm Banks.
I'm Josh.
Odd places going viral.
Banks, do you believe in a minimum wage?
We talked about
Are
this
you
in
are
a.
you pro minimum wage?
Uh, yeah. I am. We talked about this in a previous episode, similar to this, to like a minimum living standard of living.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I would
but
even
the
go
more
farther. A minimum standard of living.
yes, and that's what I want to get to
Okay,
because I was pro minimum wage, but I'm not. I
all
am
right.
not for minimum wage,
Why not?
and I think that's our mistake. That's our biggest mistake because it's based around money. I think you should not tie money to survivability. So what if we have a minimum standard of living, and it's nothing to do with money? You don't need money for a minimum standard of living.
Okay, so how do you pay for? Okay, what is the minimum
Don't pay for
standard
it.
of living?
So what is minimum standard? Exactly. What is it? Food, water, shelter, healthcare. Anything else? Am I missing?
Yeah, four things.
Food, water, food. Okay. Let's just say food, just as general. Food and water. Food, shelter, healthcare.
Three. Okay.
Three things, right? Food, shelter,
Yep.
health. If I provide you with that without you having to send me money, then you don't need money to live.
Okay, so how do you provide that? How do you provide that to me?
There's many ways. I can give you a food coupon or something. Go to
Okay,
the store, buy what you want up to a certain amount,
yeah.
up to a certain food coupon limit. Uh, I can just make sure
That's by the way,
that
is
you
called.
have access to an abode, right? You have access to an apartment or to a house or something. Um, and I can give you universal health care, right? You're a citizen, you get health care.
Okay, so food and water is the WIC program, which is a federal program.
Mm-hmm.
Women and children, women in children, women. I
Women, like women in children. I don't know
I
about
don't know where the
that.
I don't know where the I comes from. Women, infants, and children. There we go. There we go. So the
Oh,
WIC
okay, that makes
program
more sense.
gives
Yeah,
you like a credit card, and you go and you pay for what you can, and they have restrictions on that. Okay?
right,
So
right.
you have that. A place to live. You join the military, you got a place to live. They're going to take care of you, okay? In our country.
Right.
So you have that. Healthcare, when you're in the military, and even after the military, you have the healthcare. You have a very good healthcare, actually. So
Right.
we do supply that in our country to millions of people.
Yeah. Or even we could take a page out of the prison system. You get 3 hots and a cot. Awesome, right? What else? That's it. And healthcare.
Well, like, that is the prison system. That is something that like I'm just
That's
scratching
different.
my head
Yeah.
up. How do you how do you how does a prisoner get better health care and food than somebody that is not in
Yeah.
the
That's
prison
a that's
system?
a that's another whole topic, I guess.
Wow.
But this is possible. We can do this without money, and that's why I want to get rid of the minimum wage. There should not be a minimum wage. You should be able to survive in our society. Now, here's the catch. If you want something more than a cot, if you want nicer food, if you want a nicer place, if you want to buy a car and airplane and all that kind of stuff, right? Now you got to work for it. Now we're into capitalism. Now it's go earn money to buy these additional things beyond necessities.
Okay, what you're saying, if I'm clear on this, is the minimum wage is tied to money, and
Right.
the basic standard of living is tied to not money, it's tied to government programs, socialism.
Yes.
Yes? And
Yes.
and and those minimum standards of living are given to everybody at like this low level. I guess why not you're adverse to minimum wage because it is money oriented.
It's false. It's a false argument.
Economically, So you're saying, here you go. You're saying that any company can give whatever they want, and they have to work within the value. And government is out of it, correct? Minimum wage that they want to give minimum wage to.
Right, right. So everyone lives and survives. Everyone's got a basic standard of living, whether they work or not.
Okay.
Whether they work or not. But it's still basic though, right? Now, if you want nicer things, if you actually want to build wealth and you want to do some other things, now you go into the workforce and you go do something.
Okay. Okay. I agree with that. I mean, I agree with this basic standard of living. I got it. Some countries,
It's not fancy. It just keeps you alive. So there's
right.
right.
Keeps you possibly off the streets, possibly.
It's not yeah, exactly. It's not sushi and filet mignon. It's
okay. And then you're saying that once everybody gets this level, if you want to go beyond that, then that's where money comes in.
Yes.
And into it, and minimum wage is out, which means Amazon, McDonald's, any company they can pay whatever they want to pay.
Correct. And here's the cool part. So let's say they don't want to pay anything because they have the right to. They could say, we're not going to pay you a dime. Okay, I'm not going to work and I'm going to be fine. So it's see, automatically companies will have to pay you. They have to. And they have to pay you what you're worth, because if they don't, another company is going to get your labor. Now companies are competing to get you off your ass, to get you into the workforce, because they know you don't need them, they need you. And it changes the whole dynamic of our system.
I'm going to throw another thing in, and that is unemployment. If the unemployment rate is high, that means these companies don't have to pay as much. When unemployment is low, that means there's not enough employers around, so they need to. Are you with me on this?
Only in our current system, yes. Not in the system I'm proposing, though. It's the opposite.
Oh, because everybody's taken care of. Although let's say there's.
Yeah, I don't need to work. You want to get me off my ass? Incentivize me. You better give me something. Otherwise, screw off, buddy. You see? It changes the entire dynamic. Now people run the country, not corporations.
Wow, that'll be a tall feat to get past in Congress or anywhere, because
well, corporations own Congress, so that's really the tough sell. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah. So you're bringing it back to the people. However, it does begin with the government saying, here, standard of living, low standard of living, adequate, minimum standard of living. I like it.
I think we got something here.
I like it. I like it. It is so far out there, though. It is. Froze. You froze. It is so far out there, though. How incrementally countries or civilizations change slowly. This is way out there. This is labeled socialism.
No, so this is like the democratic socialism of a Sweden, where they pay for your education, your healthcare. I don't know what their food and housing programs are like. I imagine they have something pretty good there. So it's kind of like using their system with our capitalist system on top of it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that far-fetched. I don't think it's that far.
I think it gives a slight disadvantage to corporations.
Correct. As it's supposed to. Right now, corporations own everything. They own Congress. They own the lobbyists. They own you if you work for them. They literally own you. You own nothing. You do understand that, right? When you work for a job, you own zero. You're renting an income. You're renting a desk space. You're renting a title. You're renting a business card. You own nothing when you work for a big corporation. I don't think that's right.
All right. There's a question here now. We got a minute to go. Owning, why do you want to own something? Why own it?
It's my labor. Why can't I own some of it? It's my labor. It's my life. I'm spending my life helping your company grow.
I'm borrowing my property, my land, and my home. I'm borrowing it from my kids. And that's how I look at it. I don't really own it,
True.
and I don't
All
even know
right.
if I.
How about instead of own, control? Would that be a better
Oh,
word? Temporarily control in that sense of ownership.
that works much better. Anyway, I'm Banks.
I'm Josh.
Odd places going.
Viral.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a pretty cool